Effingham County judge issuing a temporary order blocking the state's new assault weapons ban. Today's ruling only applies to less than 1,000 people who filed a lawsuit against the state claiming the ban's unconstitutional.
And joining us now to talk about the ruling and other political headlines of the week, our analyst and host of the Political Report, Paul Lisnek. Good to see you, Paul.
Happy Friday, guys.
You too.
Happy Friday.
So let's start with this this ban here in the injunction. Explain to us how the preliminary injunction would be applied, especially considering that 4 of the plaintiffs were gun stores.
So, yeah, some gun stores and some owners. So, and it was important, and Alyssa said this in her story, this is only affecting those people who were plaintiffs in the lawsuit. That's important to note. As we follow this through, Ray, what future hearings will deal with is the reasoning this judge used in this case. And it's sort of interesting because Judge Morrison, who did this, only a year ago, this is being reported by Capitol Facts, only a year ago was a prosecutor, and he made these very same arguments that he granted here on the Safety Act situation. So he was a lawyer a year ago, now he sits on the bench using these same arguments. In his argument, he made the point that compared it to the New York case of last year, which the Supreme Court said no concealed carry, that's also a right. I'm not sure that's the right connection to make because in the original Heller case, 2015, Justice Scalia said, look, you know, there may be reasonable restrictions available like the kinds of guns. This is a kind of gun case, not a how you can use it case. So we'll see how it goes forward. I mean, I think the TRO and the preliminary injunction may hold until it works through the system. If it were the Illinois Supreme Court hearing this case, the odds are the law gets upheld. If it's the U.S. Supreme Court that ultimately hears this case, and these are federal cases that are filed, look, it was recently, I think it was Justice Thomas, one of the conservative justices, who said, bring me these gun cases because we're prepared to enhance those laws.
Feel like we're in law school. But even before this happened, DuPage County Sheriff James Mendrick said he wasn't going to arrest anybody anyway.
Micah, that is fascinating. Well, he can't. So what's really, I mean, here's the thing. The question is, how do you know if somebody's in violation with law? Forget nobody that's a plaintiff here, right? So how do you know somebody else, because how would you find out? So what would have to happen is one of the sheriffs who says they're not going to enforce it has to be public about it. There has to be somebody who says, I'm not going to follow the law. And then the sheriff comes out and says, and I am not going to prosecute for you. Those are the moments that bring this to court. Pritzker has said, we're going to go after this stuff. We don't really know exactly what he'd do. And I'm not sure exactly what he would do. The bottom line is when you have laws, you might like them, you might not like them, but law enforcement has to enforce them. It really is not within the purview of any law enforcement officer to say, I don't like this law. I'm ignoring it and I'm not enforcing it. They just can't do it.
Illinois, the stage for that. Let's move on to another topic. Investigators have not been able to pinpoint the Supreme Court leaker with respect to Roe versus Wade. Many were required to sign affidavits. The justices were not. Is that significant?
So the justices were talked to, but they didn't sign affidavits in this case. Well, we don't know. I mean, they talked to over 90 people in this case, and obviously with the report, although we don't know who issued the report yesterday, the language looks like it was Chief Justice Roberts, but essentially this is the court going, we're done. We don't know what happened and we're done looking for it. You know, look, the odds are, and we've talked about this before, it may have been somebody of the conservative majority. I mean, the best rationale you can come up with is to leak that so that the conservative justices who were on board wouldn't shy away from it and stick together. And in fact, that is what they did. The bottom line is until somebody writes a memoir, we'll never know. I think it may more likely it could be a justice, even if inadvertently or somehow, as opposed to a clerk or something like that.
Donald Trump in the news every single day. He has been fined $1 million by a federal judge in Florida for a frivolous lawsuit, according to the judge.
So here's the thing.
Against Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, so Micah, that comes under what's called Rule 11, which is about frivolous lawsuits. And basically that's a judge, they don't use that very often. That's a judge just going, this is just wrong. And I think what this judge is trying to say is, look, you know, there's clips we've all seen of Trump where he says, sue him, we're going to sue him, we're going to, you know. And this judge basically said enough. It's one thing to utilize the legal system, and everybody has the right to do that, but former President Trump is just filing these lawsuits for everything and anything.
This was back from 2016,
Well, exactly, and he won. So he went after her because, of course, she won the popular vote, so the lawsuit had to do with that everything was rigged with regard to the popular vote. But I think this judge looked and said, look, Mr. Trump, you won the election. This is a lawsuit that we don't need to have in the system. You're fine. Interestingly, today, by the way, he had a similar lawsuit against the district attorney in New York. He dropped it.
We have a few other topics we wanted to get to, but we're running out of time.
So let's talk about your show.
Yeah.
What's coming up?
Well, on Sunday, Carrie Austin is not running again in the
Right.
34th Ward, health issues and some legal issues there. So we've got her, one of her replacements is going to be either Bill Conway. Remember, he ran for Kim Foxx's role in the
Yeah.
primary in 2020, and then Jim Ascot. Those are the two candidates. They'll both be on the show, so folks who live in the 34th Ward can make their decision. And also Stephen Caliendo, Professor Caliendo, will join me to talk about the mayor's race and maybe who got the edge in the debate that was held the other night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.